Hi guys, welcome back to Dev Astrology. In today's video, we are going to be doing the monthly reading and this is for the month of August. To begin with, I would like to showcase the key dates which are going to be coming into picture. For the month of August, you will see that Sun is in the sign of Cancer until the first half of the month, which is till August 15th. And from August 16th onwards, he will be moving to his own sign of Leo. Mercury is in Cancer until August 30th. He is retrograded but will become direct from August 11th onwards. And he is also going to be joining Sun into the sign of Leo on the last day of the month. Then you have Venus, which is placed in the sign of Gemini. It is conjunct with Jupiter there until August 19th. And from August 20th onwards, it is going to be moving into the sign of Cancer. Mars is going to continue to remain in the sign of Virgo throughout August. Jupiter is in Gemini and it is currently in the nakshatra of Ardra, which is ruled by Rahu itself. And then he is going to be moving into the Punarvasu nakshatra from August 13th onwards, which is ruled by himself. So that's a good movement coming in for Jupiter in Gemini itself. Then you have Saturn, which is in the Pisces sign in Uttara nakshatra. It's its own nakshatra. And we've also done a detailed video around the retrogression of Saturn. So it is present in a retrograded mode in the sign of Pisces. You have Rahu in Purv Bhadra of Jupiter itself in the sign of Aquarius, and then Ketu in Purv Nakshatra of Venus now, which is in the sign of Leo. So without further ado, guys, let's jump into the deep dive of the reading. Now, Leos, as you guys can see on your screen here, there is a crowd which is forming from your 11th to your first house. If you're watching this from a moon sign perspective, then in your Rashi sign as well. So you have in your first house Ketu, bang opposite to which is Rahu. Sun will become conjunct with this Ketu in the second half of the month. Mars is in your second house. Saturn retrograded in your 8th. And then you have Jupiter conjunct with Venus in your 11th house, who will be transiting into your 11th house later in the month and become conjunct with Mercury, whilst Mercury will be conjunct with Sun in your 12th house in the first half of the month itself. Now, we should start with your Lagna Lord or with your Rashi Lord Leos, who is present with Mercury in your 12th house, 12th to itself. Mercury is currently in retrogression. He is your second Lord as well as your 11th Lord in retrogression in the 12th. And that is why I had mentioned in the July video as well that this is going to be a very crucial period in terms of you avoiding taking any key decisions, any key investments for that matter, all the way till 10th, 11th of August once this Mercury becomes done. Now, retrogression of benefic planets is not very harmful, but the placement of Mercury in the 12th is not too much of my liking. And to be honest with you guys, Mercury forms its natural form of debilitation in the 12th house because in Pisces he gets debilitated, right? So from a Kal Purush Kundali perspective, that's a difficult position for this Mercury to be in. To add to the brunt, you have Mercury in retrogression as well. So the decision making can go literally haywire. Specifically, you would be observing with respect to your money related issues, with respect to your gains, desires, objectives, targets that you've been chasing. Now, it also means that when your 11th Lord is in the 12th, opportunities could come from foreign lands, from faraway places, and the second Lord is 11 places away from itself into the 12th, which means investments could also result into wealth generation. But I would repeat myself that I would not be very confident in terms of making the right choices in the first 10 days, and thus any key decisions must be spilt over. Again, to make matters worse, your Lagna Lord or your Rashi Lord is also 12th to itself for these 2 weeks for the first 15-day period itself, which means that there could be certain loss in terms of your effort, in terms of your energy, in terms of the money, in terms of your gains that could come into picture or may not result into the outcomes, into the returns of the investments as you might desire. So that could be the challenging bit there. But both of these planets will be giving a direct aspect into your 6th house, which means all these complications, all these difficulties will still be giving you a lot of energy, impetus in terms of dealing with the obstacles, dealing with the challenges, problems coming your way. Your day-to-day regimen might require you to put some extraordinary amount of effort as well. So don't shy away from that, because you will realize that as we move 10-day sprint onwards, 10-day cycle onwards through the course of this month, there will be a lot of positive impacts also that shall start shaping for you. To begin with, we'll talk about the transit of Sun, which happens middle of the month into your Lagna, into your Rashi sign itself. And when that happens, the good bit is that you will see an oozing amount of self confidence, self belief come in you. The sheer lack of that shrug of Sun from the 12th coming into the first is going to mean that there will be a lot of self belief. Now, the other good bit is that Mercury would also be direct, albeit in the natural house of debilitation, but he would still be direct. And thereby, you will have some kind of confidence in your decision making, and you would know what is the right way forward. The other bit that you have to understand is that Ketu has been in your first house for a significant amount of time now and is going to be there for the next 1.5 years almost, all the way till December 2026. And you've got to learn as to how to deal, how to, work with this Ketu. Ketu, in a way, is the lord of your fourth house. And there is going to be a certain degree of turbulence of emotions as well, which is going to come into play. There is going to be a lot of aloofness which you are going to be experiencing during the course of this time, but Sun's presence is going to still give you some level of self belief. However, Ketu's impact is like dissection, and you have to understand, guys, that Rahu and Ketu are getting in the same axis of that of the Sun, so eclipse sort of situations will be forming in your 1-7 axis. I've been saying that Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, and Scorpios are having a very transformative period, given that Rahu and Ketu are there in 1-7 or 4-10 axis. And for you guys, Leos, you will realize that your personality, your emotions, your mind frame, your body, physical self, your health, as well as the impact towards your business partner, towards your marital partner, if you are married, towards the reputation from a public domain perspective, all of this is going to see a significant amount of transformation. It's going to see significant amount of change. And with Sun coming into the Lagna, one good bit is that you will remain focused. You will see growth, positivity in your health. But at the same time, there could be almost a tearing apart of things. You would be undergoing a certain degree of transformation as well, self evaluation. And not every transformation is painful. So I want to let you know that when this conjunction of Sun Ketu happens, it can take you to heights. It can take you to heights of understanding, evaluating your spiritual being as well, your spiritual self too. And thereby you can understand that the kind of choices that you're making, the decisions that you are making, are they panning out in the right direction or not? You might have to research a lot on the subjects that you are dealing with. It could be your internal family affairs, it could be related to your earnings, it could be health related issues, it could be with respect to your knowledge or with respect to your assets and gains. So all of these parameters will require significant amount of dwelling. Now, if you are a single person, it could be a little bit of a tricky period because you have multiple aspects, your Ketu, Mars, Jupiter, Venus, and even the retrograded Saturn giving an aspect to your fifth house. So this could be very daunting, surprising, challenging period from a relationship standpoint. And when I say relationship, relationship of all sorts. So you will see fluctuations through the course of the month, but you've got to fear not. You've got to stick things out. You've got to still believe in being pious, taking the right calls, standing by a moral compass. It is going to be extremely important from that perspective. Good bit is that in your second house, you have the presence of Mars, which is the lord of your fourth house, 11 places away from itself, and your ninth lord, albeit 6 places away, but forming a very good Dhan Yoga. So, on one side of the spectrum, I'm saying that there will be possibilities of rework, expenses, energy being invested again and again into doing similar things. But on the other side of the spectrum, your bosses, your mentors, your guide, your teacher, your father, your professors could be giving those those nuggets of wisdom that can help you do better. It could be in terms of your knowledge management, gain in terms of your knowledge, or maybe just acquisition of some kind of asset also coming in collectively within your family. There's also a possibility of some of you having almost like a ceremony auspicious event within your family, especially related to your brothers or your cousins, if that might be the case. Now, as we move further, we see that Mars is giving an aspect to the ninth sign, Sagittarius, to your fifth house, as I said earlier. So please be watchful with respect to your aggression in your relationships or to your children if you are a parent. If you are planning to conceive, this can be a little bit of a tricky period with so many planets aspecting your fifth house. So be watchful on that front. The calling with respect to speculative activities will be abysmally bad for you. However, any kind of planned, strategic, thoughtful investment shall give you the right outcome. So you're going to do well on those regards as well. Mars is giving an aspect to your Saturn, and your eighth house is the natural karaka of the eighth house, Saturn. And Mars also enjoys that transformative energy. So it's not going to be as bad for you guys, Leos, but Mars is giving an aspect back to the ninth house. So please be watchful in your conduct, in your communication, your aggression with your business leaders, with your management, with your father or gurus. I think having a sweet tooth is going to be a high possibility for many of you, Leos. You'd be surprised that you could have some sweet cravings during the course of this month. Rahu is placed in your seventh. Excellent position of Rahu from a business standpoint, from a relationship standpoint. You are going to witness significant amount of expansion, growth coming in from your relationship perspective, from your marital connect perspective as well, from your formal business relationship standpoint. I think it's a great period for the next 1 year, 3 months, 4 months, where you can achieve significant amount of growth. Rahu is in a good position and he's giving aspects to your third house, Lagna, and your 11th house. So not only your house of hard work and courage is getting an impact, but also your house of gains, where sitting is Jupiter trying to it. Now we've done detailed video on Jupiter, Rahu, Ketu, and Saturn transit just last week. I will urge you guys, Leos, to please go and spend 15 minutes of your time and understand how it's going to be impacting you over the course of the next 15 months. But Saturn, which is the lord of your seventh house and sixth house, is forming Vipreet Raj Yoga in your eighth house and sitting in a retrograded motion. Now, this is a little bit tricky, but you are still going to find some relief from this Ashtam Shani. If you're watching this from a Leo moon sign perspective, it is going to be, the Daya period of Saturn, where you are going to find tad bit relief there. But please try and, exceed in the test of Saturn, thereby taking the right calls, right decisions. You have to successfully the pass the test of Saturn, which will definitely come your way either through your marriage or through your partnership or from your workplace. Any of those areas is going to, in fact, if you are appearing in any kind of competitions and doing some kind of shortcuts, is not at all going to be rewarding. It could put you in deeper problem, more difficulties. Now, as we move further in your 11th house, you have the presence of Venus and Jupiter, which are forming Kuber Yoga. Venus happens to be the lord of your 10th house and your third house in the 11th. That's a very good placement of Venus for you guys in the 11th. And Jupiter happens to be your fifth lord and your eighth lord. So unexpected gains. The money houses and are getting connected in your chart pretty well, Leo. So it's a very good news coming in from that perspective. The better news is that Jupiter will be transiting into Punarvasu Nakshatra, its own nakshatra, from 13th of August onwards. Now, this Jupiter is giving a combined aspect with Venus into your fifth house, and thereby all the challenges that I was alluding to from a fifth house perspective, there is some respite to it, but not totally, because there are three other malefics also impacting that house. The good bit is if you try and sustain on your relationships, if you try and do the right thing in terms of your investment strategies, at least Jupiter is going to vouch from 13th of August onwards that he should not let you suffer bad, even though you have these malefic planets impacting you. I would still not consider the aspect of Mars to be malefic, because he's a almost like a yoga karaka planet. He holds the rulership of the ninth house for you, so it's a benefic aspect of that Mars as well. Venus placed in the 11th, being the 10th lord, is especially fruitful for you, because any kind of efforts that you've been putting at your workplace, in your karma, in your preparation for your work, for your business at home, is going to be very rewarding. You are going to get an acknowledgement of the efforts that you've put in. People are going to see the amount of creativity, the amount of effort that you bring to the table. So I see a lot of wish fulfillment, goal and objective fulfillment happening for you for the first 20 days. In fact, the middle part from the 11th to the 20th is going to be a lot more rewarding than the first 10 and the last 10 days. So I see a lot of positivity from that perspective. However, in the last 10 days, you will have Venus conjunct with Mercury, direct Mercury in your 12th house. Venus is the lord of your 10th, going 3 places away. So some work related travel is definitely going to come into picture. Or during your travel, if you have already planned for one, some kind of work related issues are also going to come into picture. So something or the other is going to tie knots with each other. You will have to put a lot of effort into your work, into your office in the last 10 days. That is going to be expected. And there will be a deeper focus towards your finances, your money management, your health related issues as well. Overall, from a health perspective, I would want you to be careful, Leos. Saturn is retrograded, though he's forming Viparit Raj Yoga, and you are getting aspects of Mercury from Cancer. You are getting an aspect from Sun as well. But in the last 2 weeks, maybe you will have to take some extra bit of precaution. Please be figuring out a certain strategy in terms of gym regimen, running around, taking a brisk walk kind of stuff to maintain your health. All in all, I think if we were to divide the month into three pockets, great pocket in the middle. So you are going to have a cycle where you are going to face challenges, you are going to successfully overcome them, you will have a good period, and then you will have to figure out as to how you curtail your expenses, monitor what is the outgoing from your side. I hope, guys, you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, then please smash on that like button, subscribe to Dave Astrology, and keep watching.